so much for joining us on India's only property show, which gives you a 360-degree perspective on buying, selling real estate at the right price. We'll be taking micro-market discussions and questions from across the country to give you all the data and scientific data-backed advice. With me, Sameer D'Souza, CEO and founder of Prop Equity. Let's get started and tell you what's on the show today. 8 key micro-markets covered across the country. Noida at 60 lakhs, top picks. Ghaziabad 35 lakhs. What can you buy? We'll go on then to Mohali market and cull out some luxury properties at a crores budget, and Vadodra 40 lakhs, and Bangalore in the south 60 lakhs to a crore properties to buy. Also our story today, why has Chennai been a laggard amongst metros when it comes to integrated township projects? Take a quick look at the news which unfolded in India's real estate markets before we move to our micro market analysis.
The private equity real estate arm of the global investment firm Xander Group has invested 370 crore rupees in Capstone Constructions, the group company of Mumbai-based developer Rustomjee. According to company chairman, the capital received will be utilized for reducing debt and for further growth of the Rustomjee Group. Capstone Constructions is currently developing Rustomjee Urbania, a township in Thane spread across 127 acres. The government has decided to scrap the plan to use the public-private partnership model to build the 6,000 crore rupee plus Eastern Peripheral Expressway project. The proposed 135 kilometer expressway project that will connect Sonipat, Ghaziabad and Palwal did not receive a single bid from the private players before the April 4th deadline. The government, in an unprecedented move, now plans to take the entire project on its own shoulder, the process for which is likely to kickstart once the new government takes over. The Ghaziabad Development Authority has adopted a transparent route to educate buyers by uploading a list of errant builders on its official website. The website mentions details about sealed properties as well as those whose layout plans have been cancelled by the authority. The lists also include details of those developers who have obtained NOCs from the authority and fire department. Officials have also invited public suggestions on their new initiative. Chennai-based real estate developer Akshaya has launched the Tango, a 250 apartment luxury residential project at Thorepakkam on the old Mahabalipuram road in Chennai. The project, set on a nearly 4-acre plot about 4 kilometers from Adayar, also includes a commercial block with retail and hospitality spaces. The apartments are available in sizes ranging from 676 square feet to 2,355 square feet and are sold at a special price of 8,000 per square feet in the first 3 days of launch.
Alright, let's move on to South India. Bangalore and Chennai are the micro markets in focus. We've got Sanjeev Mehra on the phone line with us. Sanjeev, hi, go ahead with your question.
Hi Manisha. Congratulations for a great show you're hosting. I was looking for the property in Bangalore. My budget is around 30 to 40 lakhs. This is purely an investment and tax saving perspective. Thank you.
Alright, so you've said that 3 years is your horizon and purely an investment. So we can take him anywhere in Bangalore, and I do see that you've taken him to 3 different directions of Bangalore. I think budget is a constraint, isn't it? 30 lakhs is not that much money, but I'm glad he's beginning to invest early and look at all the benefits of tax saving. And whatever said and done, it's an asset which is a hedge against inflation.
You're absolutely right, and although Bangalore markets are not doing that well at this point in time, but the micro markets that we've shortlisted for you have done very well over the last 3 quarters and would relatively be safe for you to get returns and thereby saving tax as well. You may also consider micro markets from north or east Bangalore, but the number of options get limited to an extent as your budget in this is a little tight. So what we've done is that we've shortlisted 3 locations for you: Begur, KR Puram and Kingeri off Mysore Road. These micro markets seem to fit in your budget pretty well, and they have the reasonable amount of social and physical infrastructure there. Also strategically located, for example, Begur is between Hosur Road and Banarghatta Roads, 2 very popular micro markets. KR Puram has been identified as one of the hottest properties markets in Bangalore, and Kingeri, the Mumbai Metro Phase 2 has been proposed, has a station at the Mysore Road terminal which is very close by from Kingeri. So these are the positives why we are recommending these 3 micro markets to you. Coming to the key data points, if you look at them, the inventory overhang is very safe. It is 10 months in Begur, KR Puram is 20 months and Kingeri is 22 months. So it's
So all under 24 months, which we
below
say.
the danger zone. And the weighted average price charts also, Kingeri is much lower, it's only 2,700 rupees a square foot, whereas Begur is about 4,000 and KR Puram is about 3,550 rupees a square foot. So these are the weighted average prices. On the price appreciation charts, Kingeri has done okay, it's 25% the lowest over the last 2.5 years. KR Puram has done 33% and Begur has done about 31%, translating to between a 10 to 13% on an annualized basis. The projects
That's not bad. I mean, you know, we're looking at stock market returns in the recent past, but if you take a 3-year period of the markets itself, and if you had invested in, let's say, a blue chip equity fund, your returns would have been 8 to 9%. So I'm saying real estate, 10 to 13%. If you get the right property at the right price, it's a hard asset that you own, isn't it?
No, absolutely, and that's why Indians love buying real estate, and it is a much larger.
Because at the start you said Bangalore market hasn't been doing very well.
Off late, just off late, but otherwise it's a steady market. It's an end user driven market, so that's why it gives 10 to 13% returns on a regular basis. The recommendations from our side are Eternity Ecstasy by Eternity Structures. This project you can pick up from the developer directly. It is just located in Begur, close to Nice Road. It's a G+3 structure and it benefits from the accessibility to the major micro markets like Bangalore Road and Electronic City.
I'm surprised to see a G+3 structure. I mean, most places you would get high rises, isn't it? This is an unusual project.
Yeah, but it's a smallish project of about 100 odd units. The second recommendation from our side is Palm Groves by Hill Life Developers. This is in KR Puram, again available with the developer. This is just located behind the new RTO in KR Puram micro market. The project is ideally positioned with access to nearby major micro markets like Whitefield, Indiranagar and Old Madras Road. And lastly, we have Mahavir Galaxy by Mahavir Group, Kingeri, off Mysore Road. Pick it up from the developer also. This is located off Uttarahalli main road, close to Mahavir Lakes project, which is on the main road itself. And this is a 3.04 acre development. Again, it's a G+3 structure.
G+3 structure. Wow. Sanjeev, so if you're not a fan of high rises, well, we've got 2 ground +3 options for you as well, and that's a recommendation summary. 3 different micro markets, but your budget 30 to 40 lakhs, so you needed to cull out the best property, and you did say anywhere in Bangalore after all. All the best with your first real estate investment. Hope you will make many of those in the coming years and go up the ladder and one day write into us for recommendations of some luxury projects as well. Paul Naveen on the phone line with us. Paul, hi, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I'm planning to buy a flat at 2 BHK in Chennai, the surroundings of OMR, NDTV, or Medavakam, somewhere in Shoring. My budget is something around 30 to 35 lakhs.
Okay. All right. So budget. So we'll have to take you pretty further down on OMR, isn't it? 30 to 35 lakhs.
So the micro markets would be Puttupakam, Sirusari and Perambakam. Just to keep in mind that a 2 BHK over here with your price point and budget in mind will be a little less than 800 square feet. That's what you'll be able to manage in these micro markets. All the projects have necessary approvals that we've recommended. All the 3 micro markets do benefit from the SIPCOT IT Park. And OMR and GST both are areas which are close to Sholignallur for Perambakam, which is where that benefits from, and Puttupakam will benefit really from the SIPCOT IT Park, which is in the vicinity, and lot of IT parks over there as such. If we look at some key data points, inventory overhang for Perambakam is on the danger zone of 24 months. Sirusari and Puttupakam are safe, 20 and 22 months respectively. On the weighted average price charts, Sirusari is 3,600 rupees a square foot, Puttupakam is 3,600 and Perambakam is 4,200, keeping in mind the mid segment over here. Price appreciation, surprisingly, Sirusari has done not so good, 16% over 2.5 years or 6% on an annualized basis. And Perambakam and Puttupakam have done reasonably well. 11% on an annualized basis for Perambakam, and Puttupakam is about 12.6% as such. And if you were to look at the recommendations from our side, Color Castle by Color Homes, available with the developer. This is a project with 92 lifestyle apartments of 2 to 3 BHK. Advantages of location is Shorangalur Junction, which is only 4.7 kilometers away, and the Medavakam KM is Medavakam is only 4 kilometers as such. The second recommendation is KG Earth Home by KG Group, Sirusari, available with the developer again. This project is spread across about 5 odd acres, 12 blocks as such, to create a safer planet for every unit. What they've done is that they're planting 10 trees for every unit sold, which is a big positive. The last recommendation is Frangipani by Arihant Foundations. Again, this is a ready to move in project available with the developer. This is located in Pudupakkam, inside the Sirusari IT Park, which is what I was talking about. So the only advantage is proximity. You can probably walk to your workplace, but that's not always a preferred option. You don't want to be surrounded by hundreds of IT parks when you're in a residential location.
Why hasn't Sirusari done well, Sameer?
I think that it suffers from a little bit of an oversupply situation, I would say, in terms of number of units. If you were to look at it, it's about 2,800 units, but still about 730 units are still available. So sales are a little
Very
slow over
slow.
there as such. So about 25% of the inventory is still available. Although I would tend to think that this place should do well, but sometimes people don't want to be living in the office.
Also, I think
areas.
IT Park, Sirusari, that was a story, and there has been a bit of a slowdown in sentiments around IT. 3 projects in your budget which you can look at investments. Sirusari comes with that big disclaimer that the market, at least in the past, hasn't given very good returns, but go ahead, take a look at the project. Sometimes markets do turn around. Color Castle, Color Homes, KG Earth Home by KG Group and Frangipani by Arihant Foundations are the 3 projects. Nearly 12 years after the launch of Mahindra World City in Chennai, widely regarded as a milestone moment in the nation's real estate, the city's market for self-sustained integrated townships has continued to remain quite wide open. But now a couple of national developers have breathed a new lease of life into this segment. So, what's the reason behind Chennai's slow start to integrated living, and is this segment on the road to revival? Chut Sanit finds out.
This is Embassy's first foray into the Chennai market. With 496 apartments delivered, a national public school under construction and a convenience store on site, Embassy Residency is but a small step in a segment that not many developers have looked at, integrated townships. A segment that a market like Bangalore has mastered, but one that Chennai hasn't quite embraced. In the last decade, Bangalore has built some of the best integrated developments. As on date, the market has nearly 15 integrated townships, including a few in the pipeline. This in stark contrast to not more than 3 such developments in Chennai.
You should have anywhere in the region of about 50 to 100 acres, and this land should be accessible, A. B, it should be priced right for it to make a sense, because since these are large township projects, so it's a combination of various things. So Bangalore, that way we had certain suburban areas like Whitefield and other areas which I think lend themselves to really do integrated townships.
History though is on Chennai's side of the argument. In 2002, Mahindra Lifespace Developers gave India its first integrated business city. Almost overnight, the concept of integrated living was born. Spaces that lent an ideal work-life balance. Homes, offices, retail and hospitality all within the same compound. 12 years since, not much has progressed on this front. But a couple of new developments could turn things around. And this begs the bigger question, why the delay? Developers say that's because the city has never lacked any real social infrastructure.
People in the locality can always go to the local hospital or shopping, or they can go to the local school, college. You always have abundantly cropped up in all parts of the city. So I think that reason, as you always say, necessity is the mother of invention. You only need to have a township when you actually need it. Chennai already has it, in the sense that all the pockets are already developed. So there's no real need for an integrated township to come up.
But the fact still remains that a few national developers have tested the waters in a market with immense potential. A lifestyle segment that could scale new heights, provided developers are willing to go the extra mile.
The market has evolved over the last couple of years, and going forward I think it's a lifestyle. So people will actually move into those communities where it's integrated, and the preference, as we're seeing more and more buyers opting for it, the main, like I told you, the USP is the maintenance. If the maintenance is backed, the developer backs it with a very good maintenance and for a time of 8 or 10 or 15 years, then these townships are here to stay.
Bangalore versus Chennai makes for an interesting debate when it comes to integrated living. And although the Chennai market may not have made it to the big league, potential for future development is unmistakable. Fulfilling this potential could well mean a facelift to the way the market here looks at its real estate. In Chennai, Jude Sanith, NDTV.
We will be back in a moment and go up north. Ghaziabad and Noida are some of the markets we'll cover. We'll also travel to Nimran and Bhiwadi for a reality check of what's happening in that micro market.